South Africa is in shock tonight. Several ANC leaders are said to be in hiding following explosive arrest warrants that were quietly issued by senior investigators, fueling panic, confusion, and a full-blown political crisis within the ruling party. But what did these leaders do? Who issued the warrants? And why has the presidency remained mum while chaos is unleashed behind the scenes? These are the questions ringing out across the country as uncertainty grows. By the end of this news report, you'll see why so many think this might be the biggest corruption bust in the history of ANC. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss the next big update as this scandal unfolds right across South Africa. Sources within South Africa's top crime-fighting unit said that the saga started late last week when detectives handed the National Prosecuting Authority a sealed dossier. That secret file was said to include incriminating evidence, bank accounts, in-house emails, and encrypted transaction records tied to a number of high-ranking ANC members to illicit financial transactions, including massive embezzlement of government funds, questionable foreign remittances, and kickbacks on overinflated government contracts. In a matter of hours, warrants of arrest were signed and circulated in utmost secrecy, sending the political elite into panic. At least 3 top officials had reportedly vanished from home by dawn the following morning, while others simply ceased taking calls or showing up for urgent party meetings. A top police officer, who spoke anonymously, informed media, "The net is closing. They know it's over. The system they constructed is finally crumbling. The names of the targeted have not been released by authorities yet, but political insiders have leaked sufficient hints to ignite social media. Social media is abuzz with online speculation that some of the accused are ANC veterans, long-serving cabinet members, provincial treasurers, and top party funders, individuals deemed untouchable in the past. Inquirers are reported to be investigating a grand corruption ring with connections to state-sponsored infrastructure developments in which billions of rand were lost in the last 10 years without any discernible trail of accounting. Through an insider familiar with the investigation, more than 4 years, government cash meant for hospitals, schools, and subsidized housing was transferred into private offshore accounts in scattered locations across Europe, the Middle East, and the Caribbean. This time, the source added, "The evidence is too solid to bury." If it holds up, this would be one of the biggest corruption cleanups since 1994's transition to democracy in South Africa. As word of secret warrants leaked within ANC ranks, pandemonium erupted behind the scenes. Overnight, emergency meetings were convened. Senior members blamed each other for treachery, and phones and laptops were seized from some offices in an attempt to lock down the leaks. A number of witnesses have since alleged that some officials were able to escape the country early in the morning, reportedly utilizing private flights and diplomatic channels to avoid border control. Authorities have confirmed that Interpol has been approached to help locate potential fugitives trying to escape to neighboring states. This sudden disappearance has given rise to one chilling question throughout South Africa. Is the ANC disintegrating internally? All eyes are now on President Cyril Ramaphosa, whose peculiar silence in the face of the mounting scandal has raised serious eyebrows. Analysts opine that his reluctance might be due to fear of political explosion, as most of the purported suspects are said to have personal or financial interests in his close circle. Opposition MPs such as the EFF's Julius Malema and the DA's John Steenhuisen have openly called on the president to speak to the nation. Both charge that he is protecting corrupt buddies and refusing to act despite mounting evidence. Malema was most vocal, stating that if indeed these warrants exist, then Ramaphosa must confess because, in his words, corruption doesn't survive without leadership knowing. Thus far, the presidency has dismissed reports as unverified speculation. But the sheer number of leaks, paperwork, and insider accounts that are piling up are increasingly hard to ignore. The South African public, fatigued after years of corruption and economic stagnation, is outraged. Hashtags such as #ANC exposed, #ArrestThemAll, and #Justice for South Africa have trended on X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok for days. People want accountability and transparency, calling on the police to seek justice regardless of rank or political influence. Near the Union buildings in Pretoria, protesters began daily marching with signs that say, "Our taxes built your mansions. No one is above the law." And asterisk, "The people are watching." Asterisk, "The atmosphere in the streets is charged." A combustible cocktail of anger, fatigue, and guarded hope. Some people feel this may be the first time that corruption is held accountable, while others worry that the political elite will yet again manage to shield their own. Police have been said to deploy more officers around important government facilities in anticipation of potential disturbances if names of suspects are released. Intelligence agencies are also tracking suspicious money flows such as unexpected wire transfers and private flight travel of suspects under investigation. The one suspect might have traveled to Mozambique with a forged passport, unconfirmed reports suggest, while the other is said to be in hiding under the wings of influential friends in KwaZulu-Natal. But the most shocking disclosure to date is that the Justice Department has been accused by a whistleblower of having its main files in the corruption case tampered with just hours before warrants were issued. This leaves hair-raising questions. Could there be players within the government itself involved in protecting these fugitives? Or more tactically, could this be a deliberate political purge by recalcitrant ANC factions? Political analysts warn that this scandal might trigger the most significant internal rupture in the ANC since the end of apartheid. If arrests proceed and if those implicated include top-ranking officials, the ruling party could face a full-scale leadership crisis before the 2026 elections. "We are not just looking at criminal charges," one expert commented. "We are witnessing a struggle for survival within a party that has defined South African politics for 3 decades. Many fear that what began as an anti-corruption investigation might soon evolve into an all-out political war with rival groups exploiting the chaos to seize power and reshape the party's hierarchy." Meanwhile, international observers and South African allies are keeping a close eye on developments. The scandal risks eroding investor confidence, causing disruption to foreign relations, and destabilizing an already shaky economy badly hurt by unemployment and inflation. Economic experts caution that continued political instability would cause market instability, currency devaluation, and public project delays that could affect national development. The stakes are greater than ever, not only for the ANC, but also for South Africa's democratic standing on the global platform. Within Parliament, the situation is coming to a head. Opposition MPs have promised to table an emergency motion calling for the full disclosure of all the warrant details. While ANC MPs are said to be contemplating crossing party lines to save their reputations, whistleblower groups have also entered the fray, calling for the release of crucial evidence to the public to stop interference or cover-ups. "If those files go missing," warned one activist, "so does the truth." Public response grows more vocal by the hour. Across the cities of Johannesburg to Cape Town, activists, students, and civil groups are demanding national protests until arrests are made and trials are underway. Many view it as a watershed moment in the country's battle against corruption. "We've heard promises before," a protester stated, "but this time we need results. No more excuses." As darkness approaches, South Africa is at a juncture. The truth is closing in. And for the first time in decades, those who have been able to act with impunity are frightened. Whether it is the beginning of accountability, or the beginning of another political game of power is as yet unclear. But one thing is certain, the country is watching. The people are calling for justice. And the walls of secrecy that have long shielded the powerful might finally be starting to crumble. Share with us your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this saga is far from over. The truth is emerging. And this time even the most powerful cannot hide.